Alright guys, how's it going? Welcome back. Well, as you can probably tell from the blue sky and the palm trees, I'm back in Spain. I don't know why I'm speaking in hushed tones when my neighbour thinks it's perfectly acceptable to build an extension on a Sunday morning. Should probably talk at a normal volume, shouldn't I? Right, a couple of months ago I drove down here in a Fiat Panda that I bought for just £250. I did the journey, it got me here fine, in fact it did about 70 miles per gallon. But about 2 hours outside of Malaga, the engine light came on and it started to cough and splutter a little bit. Anyway, I got here, but many of you asked me what happened with the Panda. So today, I thought I'd show you. Let's go and have a look, shall we? Right then, house keys, Panda key. Let's go. Oh, there's my little Peugeot Tweet, look. Needs a good clean. It's funny, isn't it? I now own a Peugeot and they haven't even bothered turning out the engine lights, just on all the time. There she is, in all her glory. Now, I parked this up in February and we're now in June. Still looks all right, doesn't it, considering it's been parked here in the baking Spanish sun all this time. I left it purposely. I left it in gear with the handbrake off because I didn't want to lock the handbrake on. And I bought these little chocks for it. It might be a bit overkill really that, but I didn't want it rolling back into my gates. Now also, before I left last time, I disconnected the battery. I like this little thing. Wow, it's hot. Okay, let's hook the battery back up. See what we're working with. So I disconnected the battery. Now this should, I'm hoping, still have some life left in it. Right, I will tighten that up in a second once I've checked that it'll start. What are your thoughts here, guys? We've done 155,000 miles in my little £250 Panda. I've just spotted, look, in the seat runner, a packet of salt for my salt and shake from my journey down here. Right. Take it out to gear. Left foot on the brake, I think. What do we think? Bit nervous now. Never any doubt in my mind. We've got flashing glow plug light. That's mad. It's just been sat here for months and it fired straight up. Don't think the air conditioning ever was much good in this, to be fair. Should we take it around the block for a quick spin? Sounds like a plan. I was fairly sure I was going to have to use my rental car to jumpstart this. Maybe I did leave the handbrake on after all. Wait, we're not locked in. You know, this might just be the most reliable car I've ever bought. Got to remember to stay on the wrong side of the road, haven't I, today? My right-hand drive little Fiat. I've missed this little thing. My flashing glow plug light's gone out, ladies and gents, so we're all good. I might look into getting this aircon gassed. Brakes are a little bit grindy. Not bad though, considering it's been sat for 3 months. So going back to my road trip then, for the final 2 hours of my road trip, it started to cough and splutter and the engine light was on. But I managed to get home. I turned it off and then on again and the engine light was still on, so I thought, oh, I don't know what I've done, maybe I've just flogged it too much. But then the next morning I went out to it after it had a rest for about 10 hours, started it, the engine light went out. And it's been fine, touch wood, ever since. I'm guessing after doing 2,500 kilometres in this over 2 or 3 days, it probably just had enough. It was just a little bit fed up. I can't remember now whether I told you this or not, but my main reason for buying this was just to use it as a, what do you call it, a rhino post. I basically just wanted to use this to stop people parking on my driveway, or at least covering or blocking my driveway. Quite often in the past, I'd check on my little security CCTV camera app back in the UK, and I'd see somebody blocking my driveway, and instantly it would get me really wound up. Even though I wasn't actually in Spain and it had no bearing on my day whatsoever, it just immediately put me in a bad mood, the cheek of it. So I thought I need to park something on my driveway. So I bought a little Spanish registered Renault Clio, like a 1998 Renault Clio. So I had that parked in my driveway for about 6 months, and then I remembered how complicated the Spanish legal system was. You can't just take a car off the road like you can in the UK. So I thought it'd be much easier if I kept a little British car on the driveway. That way I could just mark it as Sawn or whatever. This isn't, by the way, before you jump down my throat. This is currently perfectly legal, taxed, MOT'd, and currently on the MID. But in the future, when the MOT expires, I won't be able to drive it. So I'll just have to keep it on my driveway. But still, £250. It is about, well, I don't know how much a Rhino Post is, but I should imagine it's about 250 quid. This should do the job perfectly well. I would like to buy a Spanish car though and use it whenever I come on holiday. Something like an old Porsche Cayenne or an E46 convertible, or what else was I looking at? A Jeep Wrangler. It doesn't have to be the nicest, the newest, or the best on fuel, just something interesting really. That's all I'm interested in. This old 1.3 litre turbo diesel does struggle with these hills somewhat. I don't want to sound like an old timer now, but when I was growing up around here, this was all just fields, as far as the eye could see. There were none of these houses. Oh, that's a nice one. I think then, ladettes and gents, should we go and give this a jet wash? Go and take it to the car wash and blast the dust off it, I think. Then it'll be good for another 3 months. See that. Much better. Took one more crank than I'd like then. Panicked. It's a bit of a long way to push this. Well, she's all clean until my next visit. We'll cinter on. I was thinking before the MOT expires on this and I can't do anything with it, I could do with taking it on one more adventure. What do you think? Where should we go? Could go to somewhere like Gibraltar, but I don't think that's very adventurous, is it? But we could get the ferry across to North Africa. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below where you'd like to see me take this. And possibly, if I have time, that's always the issue right now, time. If I have time, I might make it happen. So yeah, cheers guys. Thank you once again for watching. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't done already. And yeah, see you next time. Adios.